What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EraBody's podcast, where generations collide and cultures combine. Today, we got a great show for you. As special guest for today, we have Justin Brown. And we all know that when you want the news of New Orleans,
We just got a call.
I just got a call. You're going to Empower You NOLA. And he'll give you his story on how that came about and what it takes to be a creator and entrepreneur in New Orleans. But for now, it's your boy, Ricky.
And I'm the Honorable Darren D. Purnell, the street speaker himself. What's up, Rick?
What's going on, D?
Man, we oftentimes we don't get any proud moments to celebrate. One of our guests is making a tremendous leap. Ryan Angeletti. If you remember Ryan Angeletti, he got the book dealing with kids called Climbing the Ladder.
Yep.
He's running for Senate in Texas, man. He's running.
Yeah. Shout out Ryan Angeletti,
Man, and you know, when you look at so many older guys that's making decisions, and I get mad with this, I build my foundation for my sons to take over. That's the thing. When you see Trump now, his father is named Fred Trump. He built it for his sons to take over. It seems like these guys get these jobs, Rick, and they don't want to pass the torch.
They holding on to it.
They holding on to it, and if you don't prepare the future, then how? When I'm supposed to take over, you 80 something now. Some of these guys, they barely walking.
Yeah, I think my whole thing with that too is, in eras, right? Like every era required different disciplines,
Right.
and during their time, it's like hard for them to let go. And I feel like it's really a slap in the face for the upcoming generation because we aren't dealing with some of the same problems. However, they just got a stronghold on what they want to change, and they overlooking what we actually need change.
I'm gonna ask you a question. With the talented people that we have on our show, the strong, how do we get to sit down and have this tough meeting with that older generation to convince them or flat out beat them? Because what they do have on their side is older people get out there and vote. What's against us is young people don't get out there and vote.
I mean, it's been a change, as we can see in New Orleans. It's been a change for as the voting spectrum. But not all of the older individuals, the seasoned individuals, they not ready to give their positions up.
Right.
And the thing that concerns me the most is that they aren't even willing to groom or mentor. That younger generation, so we can have that knowledge that they have, but present it in a way that's urban.
And I would say this: Robert Mugabe of I forgot the name of the country in Africa. He was the leader for like 40, 50 some years. He died without even picking a successor, and their country went into shambles. Who want to build something and watch it go into shambles? I think my janitorial company cleaned 3 companies that's third generation. The grandfather's still living. The son took it over. Now it's in a grandson hand, and a grandfather able to see what he started go to the next level. That's awesome. That's the goal.
Right.
So I think that with older people, it's not about you holding on to the position. You got it started. You took it as far as you could take it. Pass it or whatever.
No, I agree.
And now you able to see what you have started go to the next level.
The fruits of your labor.
Yeah, and to be able to see it, that's the one thing. To be able to die and don't get to see it, it's just like you held the throne so long. So I actually do what I do because I want to be able to see it. And I asked one of the guys, he said, it makes my heart every time I come in here, from the first loan that I took out from this building to paying it off, for my grandson to take it to the next level. Same thing with Duck Dynasty. The grandfather, the son have it now. So I think that that's the ultimate goal for me.
Yeah.
Or whatever, for them to see the hard work and I get to sit back.
I feel like in politics, they have a stronger hold on their positions. They ain't trying to mentor you. But I feel like a lot of, and I don't want to, exclude the everyday entrepreneur. That be the goal for most of them.
Right.
But when politics is like a whole different ball game, it's like they want to fight until they die. You know what I'm saying? For what they believe in.
Right. And I would say to you guys older, to not to have that seasoned guy that you brung up, basically like a son to you, that you trained up and getting him ready for the battles and getting him ready to take that seat and take take it on. I think that it's crazy
Yeah.
that they wouldn't do it. But, you know, that's the world we live in.
Selfishness.
But shouts out to Ryan Angeletti for taking a step, man. We wish you anything that EraBody's podcast can do to help you. Man, we are proud of you. And if you need to come back on and you need us to put a word out for you, we definitely got your back, brother.
Yes, sir.
And I seen another thing. Fatherhood is so important. I seen a little kid, this story came across my timeline, and the little kid say, LeBron, you'll sign my tennis shoes? And as a father overseer, say please. Brian walking with a stride.
Yeah, gone. He was out
Gone.
of there.
Say please. Brian stopped in his track, turned around.
Come here.
Come here.
Come here.
And then I'm gonna show you,
Yeah.
it was something else great in that. Bronny James was just coming.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a full circle moment about fatherhood. He's seen his father turn around. And now it just give him an example of
What
Yeah.
the right thing to do.
the right thing to do. Because some of these times, Michael Jordan used to have this thing. He said, they used to ask him, why you always wear a suit? Mike used to always look good. After the game, he always had a suit and tie on. Mike said, summertime, this is going to be their first time and probably only time seeing me. So I want them to get a good picture. And if I gave my autograph, they saw me at my best.
Mhm.
That's how much he thought of his fans or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and it's one of those moments that as a kid, as a father, as him being a father, taking the initiative. And this, you know, his son loved LeBron. His daddy, Rick, whatever money he had, spent money to get to the game. You even heard the security saying,
You
y'all
can't
not supposed to
come
be back there.
And she was serious
Yeah,
about that.
so-
That's what stuck out to me. But the star said, come on.
Right.
You work for him. You work
Right.
for them.
And
And she really,
Yeah.
and then what really pissed me off about it, bro, like, because that's the part that stuck out, was that it was another black person. It was a black person. Why are
Right.
we always gatekeeping against ourselves?
In that situation, it's security. You have to do your job, and I would say she was doing her job.
She did her job,
Yeah.
but the star
Yeah.
said,
once
come
Brian,
on.
yeah, once Brian said that, then
Because you protecting them,
right,
not the
So-
facility. At
Right.
this point, you protecting the players so they
Right.
can get where they gotta go.
right,
But once this man said, "Come on," it was just like it was too much of a hassle for me.
right.
Like,
But-
y'all not supposed to do this. Like LeBron said, the
right.
GOAT said. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So, and it's one of those moments that I think this kid gonna remember that. And then it went viral.
Yeah, he's definitely
now
gonna
he
remember that.
definitely,
And
gonna-
then knowing the proper verbiage to use when you speaking to people.
And
You know,
Samuel
it's about
Jackson,
being kind.
yeah, Samuel Jackson do the same thing. He said people always ask, they ask, can I take a picture? And then he said, can you take a picture of what? And the people be like, please, and then he'll take it. But he won't take a picture if you didn't say the please.
Yeah.
So I think that it's one of those moments where we've seen our African Americans celebrities always get bashed for not taking the time out. This is one of those highlights where made the kid dreams come true, and a father be able to see his son, and he was still involved because without that please,
Yeah. Without that plea, he wasn't getting it.
yeah,
Brian was out of there.
he was out of there.
He was out of
because he
there.
was in full stride,
Yeah.
or whatever. So, and whoever was the cameraman, they caught it at the right angle, or whatever. When he said that, say please.
That was
or
his
whatever.
daddy recording.
Yeah. So when he said that,
Yeah.
and then and it wasn't one of those over. And I think that a lot of fans don't realize that when they being over family,
Right.
like you just being aggravated.
Yeah, it was genuine.
It was- yeah,
it was
it was
genuine.
yeah,
He
so-
was like what I say, the verbiage and how he used it, the timing of it.
Right.
Like it was just that split second
Right.
that Brian probably was tuned into the crowd.
Cause he hear that all a lot.
Yeah.
So everywhere you go, you hearing Brian sign this,
Right.
or whatever. And it take me back to that please outside of everybody yelling, sign.
Mhm.
And it reminded me of one time our bus driver was giving out $2 bills right before Christmas. He gave out must have been like 15 of them, and then somebody said thank you, and he gave him 2.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, thank yous just went through.
So that's what I was just about to ask you.
Yeah.
So do you feel like now that opened up a whole different portal?
Yes. That's gonna be now LeBron. Please,
Yeah.
he's gonna be there on
Yeah.
that or whatever. So and Brian, I would say that and it's been known in business. You got to patent that now. However he can get it on asking LeBron and please behind it, because I think that's going to be a calling card now. Yeah, that's gonna be the thing now.
That's
so.
funny.
Shouts out LBJ, man. He's a fan of the show. When you come to New Orleans, don't forget. I know you ain't got that many years left. When you come to New Orleans, don't forget EraBody's podcast is a fan. Come see us, LBJ, baby.
Yes,
We'll be waiting on you. Next we have. Sometimes when I'm doing this news and I'm looking at these stories, certain stuff just don't make no sense to me. They have Berkside Air Base in Shreveport, Louisiana. Mm-hmm. Since March 9th, they've been getting drones flying over it. And they've been saying stuff. This is what the news reporter said, not nobody from the military. They can't do nothing about the drones flying over it. Over an Air Force base. And they're saying that they think that it's not some regular hobbyist. They think that this is...
Intruder.
Some
intruder alert.
And it's just BS. How can you not do something about... You're in the Air Force.
Right.
If anybody can do something about it,
you definitely can.
And it's just one of those things that if our military been bombing speedboats, drug speedboats, killing them, striking countries with bombs from way over there and pinpointing them, how can you not shoot a drone down?
That's a good question. Like, again, there's media. When you deal with the media, these people just pick up stories just to. It's like controversial topics.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that. But if it is invasion of, they be saying it'd be like 9 and 10 of them, and they been like this strategic. And these drones got extra batteries because they said they've been up there for hours.
Yeah,
I wouldn't let a drone fly over my house for an hour.
Well, you know, with the regular flyer, drone pilots. They compacted the size that we can actually fly as regular individuals.
Yeah.
So only people who have access to the bigger, larger drones that could last 24 hours is the military, the government.
Right.
So again, if it ain't the military, their own government spying on them, I would say it is somebody spying on them, because they don't make drones that last that long no more.
Yeah, so you think it's safe for me to fly my drone? I've been flying it.
Yeah, if you got a little compact one, yeah, you good.
You sure? Because Bell Chase military base is right there, and then they got the other one. You sure?
Yeah, right? You good. You should be good. Now, if they shoot it down.
You think I go fly over the military base right there?
No.
Don't do that?
Nah, don't do that.
All right.
Don't do that.
You know what? I'm wanting to see if our military is really secure. Somebody got to always test it.
Not gonna be me.
But
I
will.
Know what the penalty for that is. Shit.
Well, be right there flagging me. Come here. I heard you on the podcast. I thought she'd watch our podcast. Yeah, I watch it. Bring your ass here. But I will say that I think it's BS. I think our military, either they're allowing them to do it, or it's just them. What I think it is them testing it.
Yeah.
And then somebody saying what that is. And they were like, because I can't really see I got it.
Right.
And somebody else drones up there, and now the news just take the story. Because over my own personal house.
Yeah.
I won't let nobody fly a drone just there flying, just sitting there. Nah, partner, this about to go.
Yeah.
Either you pull it down, or I'll shoot it down myself. You an hour over somebody. They said it was flying hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm not about. Yeah.
I agree with you about that, because I ain't think of it in that perspective.
Yeah,
that was them.
You know how we outside playing and the drone just fly by and it's like, but I'm not gonna have you sitting in front of my house. Yeah. With the camera now, partner.
Collecting all type of data.
Stealing passcodes and everything. So, that's not going to happen. And, somebody, how the cameras is not, they literally could be somewhere else and just watching.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like facial recognition, all type of little crazy stuff going on.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know, man. But ever since this, and they say it was been since March 9th, since the war started. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the military just giving propaganda out. But once again, this segment is brought to you by EraBody's Coffee. Let's take a drink.
All right, everybody, welcome back. And as we promised you, we have Empower You NOLA in the building. Mr. Justin Brown.
What's up, man? Just got a call.
Just got a call. Man, for our audience who don't know you, and
Yeah.
this is crazy to even say, that New Orleans don't know who you are.
Right.
But for the ones who may not know you, give them a little bit about who you are.
Okay. So my name's Justin Brown. Born and raised in the city of New Orleans. Man, my mission in life was to help community, right? So I decided to be a police officer. So I was a police officer for some time. Got in a little trouble, what I'm sure we're gonna dig into. But then, I always wanted to do something positive for my community. So I started Empower You NOLA, and Empower You NOLA basically is man, it went from a lot of different things. We started out bridging the gap between police and community. Teaching community their rights and laws that they may not know about, how to get pulled over, how to talk to the police, and then for the police, community policing. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Being in your community, helping your grandmother up the steps with groceries as a police officer, going to the park, playing with kids, because those are the people that's gonna save your life, right? So those are the people that have all the information. And then it went from that to the news, right? I felt like the news wasn't do just for our community. So I feel like, shoot, if they could do it, I could do it, right? So now I have all the news channels following, every news channel, steal my stuff, everything, right? And then it went to like a Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers, I felt like they're not in our community. We don't even know who they are, right? So we've solved murders, we found missing kids, carjackings, burglaries, thefts, everything. We've helped hundreds of families get justice by just a little platform like mine. So
It's not little.
Sure
I
not.
always say that if it's not on Empire You NOLA,
Yeah.
if it ain't hit there in the power of social media, that the news come on at 5 a.m. in the morning, and then it don't come on again at 12. So if something happened between 6 and 12, you already had the story and laced us with it, and then the news come at 12.
That's a fact.
And then they almost got the breaking story. They got remedies of whatever.
Right.
You actually got on the spot.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question. Gail Benson is a billionaire. She owned Fox 8. Gail, why you not calling my man and paying with it? With you? That's the only way I would see that they would have add this social media element and not just have a social media page where they can actually do a deal like this, and you can actually do it, because it's like now the news is secondhand information.
That's a fact. The way we receive media, right? The way we take in media is different now, right? Nobody's really watching TV. Nobody's really watching billboards. Nobody's really watching those things anymore. It's social media. Most of the time, we're on our phones as we're passing a billboard, right? Or we're on our phones as that's where we receive our news, right? So I mean, everything is social media now, and these networks are a little bit slow picking it up, and they have platforms like mine and others who, man, are doing the work. Right.
So do you think they're actually slow, or do you feel like, again, it's propaganda? They want to cover what they want to cover, how they want to cover it.
I think it's both, right? I think it's propaganda. They definitely cover what they want. I think that's why we have, like, WDSU is going through some things right now with different reporters leaving and black reporters, right? But then they don't have the reach of the community like we do. Like, I live and breathe this community. I live in this community. My kids live in this community, right? So they can't get the information. The public and the community come to me first before they go to anybody.
Yeah. You know what I hate, though? I hate that the black people, and I got to speak on it, like white or other cultures or races don't have things going on within their races. But we are the ones that's most highlighted. Like, I mean, how do you feel about that, and how are you trying to change the outlook of the black community?
So I get a little pushback too with that. They say I only post black people on my page, and I'd be like, well, I post what I receive, right? When I see a white person, or a Hispanic person, or a Asian person committing a crime, I post them just as quick, right? But we have, if we look at the numbers, right? 36% of our black kids are in poverty. 6% of white kids are in poverty, right? In the city. We have $200 billion come to this city, and we only get 5 to 2% of that, right? So we are the ones out here struggling, right? We are the ones out here committing crimes. We are the ones, not saying they're not,
Yeah.
but they have way more.
We just overshadow.
We just
we
overshadow
right.
with that, right? And
Yeah.
especially in our community, right?
Yeah.
They if we see a white person in New Orleans East or something like that, we like, what you doing out? You know what I'm saying? Type deal. But I post everybody. If you send me a Hispanic person or a white person, they getting posted just as quick
So
as
you
I
don't
do.
have no picks and choose.
I don't listen nobody.
And I would say this.
Myself, I posted myself on my page before.
And I want to say this. You put up about the stealing. All right.
Oh yeah, that's a big topic right now.
All right. Now I'm gonna have to stop stealing because when I'm in line, I eat Snickers. You know, all that little stuff they have in
the
there.
front.
Like I'm not about to pay for no fingernail clippers. The little stuff that they
Hold
have.
up, man. We gonna cut this show off right quick.
I'm just saying the little small stuff, that's giveaways. So I'm gonna have to stop doing what I'm doing or whatever.
Please.
But I will say,
Go ahead.
if it's so small, what would you not post if somebody? Because the people snatching clothes, running out of the store, of course, that's gonna hit.
Yep.
Eating grapes in the store, that's not so much. But tell me some minute things that people have sent you that you be like, man, I'm not about to post this.
So something that I won't post is a family or a mother going into the store and stealing food.
Right.
I would never post that, right? Because if I was hungry, if my kids was hungry, and I ain't have no money, and I'm going to steal food, right? So I would never. I'll pay for their groceries,
Right.
If I can, right? If I can afford it. So I've talked to police officers that literally ran up on somebody that was stealing groceries and walked out. And she went paid for their groceries, right? So that's something I wouldn't post because if I was in that situation, I would. What they're doing is they're stealing Tide Pods, right? They're stealing alcohol. They're stealing drinks.
All right. And you think that's for resale?
Man, it's for resale for sure.
But in our community, Rick, I don't know if you know this, when we go into the store now, it's like everything locked up.
Oh yeah.
You go to Walmart, everything is locked up.
Behind the glass.
Yeah, it is because of that though, right? Because of the theft problem that we have. I mean, in New Orleans East, we had a bunch of Dollar Generals, right, or things, and it closed, right? We talking about they were stealing $250,000 a year out of those stores. Nobody could survive like that, right? A lot of stores was just making it because they was getting tax breaks at the end of the day and stuff like that, right? But for the most part, nobody could survive somebody just coming in there and walking out with your stuff. So what I try to do is I try to prevent that, right? I try to say, hey, look, it's embarrassing. Look, I get it. It's super embarrassing to be on my page, right?
Yeah.
Everybody see it. Everybody gonna talk about it. It's embarrassing. But I'm trying to prevent that from happening. I'm trying to prevent the next person from going in there and stealing. And then, so people don't see let me digress. People don't see the trickle effect of it. We talking about these Dollar Generals on every corner. They go in there and steal. Those Dollar Generals close. The people that's going to those Dollar Generals are the people in the neighborhood, right? The grandmother doesn't have a car, can't get to Walmart. They walk into there to make their groceries. The kids walking down the street, they can't go to Walmart. They going here, right? People don't have cars. They go here. If that closes, these people in this neighborhood have to figure out a way, pay more money to get to these stores.
Right.
The Winn-Dixies, the Rouses, the Walmarts, right? So if we allow these smaller stores to keep leaving, it's going to put more pressure on the elderly, the youngsters, and everything to try to get to make their groceries somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, I totally agree. I want to kind of go back to what you said. You said mothers and families. What about, so the dad and the families? I want to know.
Dad got to get to work, man. I'm joking. Dads too, man.
Yeah.
Dads too, for sure.
And I
They
will
have single
say,
dads. Shout out to the single dads and the dads that's working hard for their
and I
families, for
will
sure.
say this, and it had to be a moment for you. When they had the prison break and you got the story before the news.
Wow.
I know you were smiling the whole time.
Wow.
Like I got one up on y'all.
No, listen.
I know you.
So when I got it, I didn't believe it, right? I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, what you mean a prison break? Because it started out like 2 people was gone, right? And then 5 people was gone. Then 7.
All right, now hold on. Rewind the time back.
Go ahead.
What time did you get
The first
call?
alert.
So I got it. That's a good question. I definitely got it before people was waking up for sure, right? So I got it, but I gotta verify everything. If I put out something like a prison break is out, or people left, and it's wrong,
you lose accreditation.
it's over with for me, right?
Yeah, but the news do it all the time.
That's just true. I'm trying to be better. You hear? I'm trying to be better. So when I got it, I had to call. I'm calling different people to verify And then he like, yeah, like this real. Like we doing a count to figure it out. You know, we still trying to figure it out. So I felt comfortable with putting it out. But that's everything I put out, man. I try to be, man, I try to vet and verify before I touch it. There's a lot of stuff that come through that I can't vet and verify. And I'll wait for the news. Right? Because they have other resources that I don't have, right? So I'll wait for them to put it out just to make sure. I might have had it 2 hours before, but I couldn't verify it, so I would never put that out to the public.
So, and I talked to a young lady that was actually in the building when it happened and didn't know that it was happening.
That's a fact.
And she was like, I didn't know. She's like, I'm getting off of work, and they talking about nobody can leave because they're doing a head count. And she was like, 10 people out. And she was like, I was there the whole time.
And I think that's a problem what's going on with the sheriff's office. It's just the communication. They have stabbings that go on and nobody don't know. And the crazy part is the deputies follow my page to get the information about what's going on in their agency. Yeah. They don't know. Like they don't have like an email all, right? Like, hey, look, we had 5 stabbings today and pod 1A.
Yeah.
So the person coming on and they don't even share information.
That's wow.
So when they see it on my page, they be like, "Oh man, we had 3 stabbings.
That's
we
dope.
had 2 overdoses."
And I won't stop right there.
Go ahead.
Sage said the same thing with the Sewage and Water Board. He said they don't share information. And now you just saying about another department that don't share information.
But working in there is like, come on, like you right
any
there.
successful organization, you share information just
Right.
like crossing information over. Where I stopped at, that's where you pick up at.
That's a fact.
Well, so do you think, not to cut you off, D, but do you think that goes with the deputies being related to some of these individuals who may be doing the violent crimes, or like,
Nah, I mean,
how that go? Because I actually
Right.
been in jail,
Well, for sure, me too. Yeah.
and I know that being in there, the deputies, they rep their hoods.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But how do
yeah,
you
yeah.
feel about that?
I just feel like it's a structural thing, right? It's I feel like it should come from the top, some structure of, you know, relaying information, passing along information. It should be mandated. Hey, look, after this roll call, I'm gonna need somebody to come from the morning to the night watch to relay the information of what's going on that day, and that's not being pushed. So that's why people really don't know. Or just an email, right? Everybody is mandatory. Everybody check the emails. Okay, cool. Let me send this email out every day of what's going on. That's the same thing like it should be with the public. If we having 5 overdoses and 3 stabbings, that should be something that the public should know about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's our family.
loved
That's
ones.
our loved ones,
Yeah.
right? And people try to overlook the jail, right? People, they in jail, we don't care. I feel differently, right? I feel like we're all one bad decision away, or we're all one allegation away from going to jail.
We right.
We ain't do nothing.
Right.
Somebody just make an allegation,
But-
and now we put in those.
And I want you to break down, hold on, Rick,
Uh-huh.
the difference between jail and prison, so
Okay.
people don't understand.
Yeah, so jail is like the Orleans Parish Jail, right? It's a temporary holding facility while they're going to court.
And you're not guilty or innocent.
No, you're innocent until proven guilty. So they have a ton of innocent people in jail right now. Ton. They have some innocent people that's in prison, but jail is the first place you go once you get arrested, and you're going through the court process to find out if you're guilty or not.
Right.
Prison is once you get your time, you go to court, you get your time, you say, look, you convicted to 5 years. Then the DOC, which is Department of Corrections, they come pick you up from jail and bring you to a prison.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so in saying that, I wanted you to break that down to some people didn't know, but just because someone in jail, like he just said, you're one decision or you're one, somebody say that was you from having them silver Chanels on, you're taking that free ride, the first Uber.
So why not make it safer and better for the people that's locked up right now when tomorrow you can be there in a chaos or a chaotic situation or a non-structural situation in jail? You could be there tomorrow. So I'm on the outside. I'm trying to make it safer for everybody inside because shit, I could be there tomorrow.
So do we see it actually getting better? Like
Well, we have a new sheriff
Right.
coming in, Michelle Wolford. Do you think that she would bring the valuable steps that it would take to make that jail safer?
Shout out to Woodfork, Sheriff Woodfork elect. She has the experience to do it. I'll say that, right? We as a community should support her endeavors, everything she's got going on. She takes over May 4th. She has, what I saw recently was she has all the surrounding sheriffs supporting. I've never seen that. Right. We talking about St. Tammany, Jefferson Parish, St. Bernard, St. John the Baptist. All these parishes, all these parish sheriffs are in one room supporting her.
Right.
She's the Sheriff Susan Hudson was the first black female sheriff.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now Michelle is the second black female.
So
sheriff.
I know Sheriff Susan Hudson beat Marlon Gusman. They coming toe to toe. Do you think that make people look at, because he was their favorite, he was there, and she took him toe to toe and she beat him?
She did. She bust him up, right?
Right.
I just think at that time, people wanted change. Right. They wanted him out. He was there for 17 years.
Yeah.
It was time for some change.
Right.
She was the next person up, right? She had a lot of progressive help. She had Mark Zuckerberg giving her $200,000. She had all these people giving her money.
Wow.
So she was in the right position at the right time and made it happen.
And I feel like women are more nurturers too, as it pertains to, safety and well-being of everybody.
Yeah, and I agree. I think experience but matters, right? Mm-hmm. So we talking about Michelle Woodfork, who was a police chief, right, of New Orleans. She was a police officer for 30 years. We've never had a sheriff like that.
Right.
Our last 3 sheriffs been attorneys. We've never had a law enforcement professional as a sheriff. And mind you, Michelle Woodfork, she worked there. She worked at the sheriff department before NOPD.
So, and I would say that I wanted her to be the chief. The situation happened with her in the mail when she took over, and the crime statistics started dropping under her watch.
It did.
And then the situation happened when, what I liked about it, she didn't compromise. She could have did what power was asking her to do and kept her position, but she didn't compromise. That says a lot about her character and who she is.
That's the fact.
She could have said yeah and just took the job, and it would have been a hush hush, but she put her character in front. So that says a lot about who she is as a person.
Yeah. And that's what she definitely stand on that.
Yeah, and I think too, like I said, going back to why women are more nurturers and stuff, and I say that to say it's frightening to be behind bars and not knowing that, man, today could really be my last day.
Yeah.
And men, like, we overlook it because, all right, you in here. But just to see her bring structure, and then, like you said, from the experience of actually being in law enforcement and not coming in as an attorney, she knows how to dive and get in front of these incidences before they happen.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And I will say, if it wasn't, I've been in jail like about full time for traffic violations, and I will say that if it wasn't for the Ninth Ward being heavily populated, shouts out to the Ninth Ward. But it's a scary, like you said, it's a scary feeling of, I didn't think that the guards, that's why I'm thinking the Ninth Ward. I just think that I just so happen to fall in the protection of the Ninth Ward, not the guards. We just outnumber everybody. So in us outnumbering everybody, that was my protection. But I didn't think that, man, these guards, if these dudes get on my ass, they'll be right here for me. It wasn't like that. Shouts out to the Night Walk for all committed crimes.
So you didn't ask your famous question, D. You ain't ask Justin your question.
Justin, where you from in this great city of New Orleans, Louisiana?
I'm a New Orleans East kid.
Oh, New Orleans East.
I'm a New Orleans East kid.
Well, on the map,
According
to the
Ninth Ward. It's the Ninth Ward. It's up at Ninth Ward.
How far in the east you was?
Dowman, Morrison.
All right.
I'm right
Dowman
there.
ain't too far.
I'm right there.
Dowman wasn't too far.
So you always, and just growing up in the city, was that something that you had to pick a side? You feel good repping the Ninth Ward?
So I never really repped the Ninth Ward, right? I didn't feel comfortable. My mama from the Ninth. I just never felt comfortable repping. So I'm a East. I said from the East, right? But even in the East, they had their own little thing, right? The checkerboard, the goose stuff. You know what I'm saying? We had our own little stuff going on. I was in the checkerboard area, right? So it's like, you know how we are without
why we always do that? Break up. We have to break up. It's like with black people, Tupac or Biggie, Malcolm or Martin. Why we just can't be great? We gotta break up into sections and and minimize ourselves instead of standing strong or whatever.
Because the Ninth Wall trying to take over.
But Ninth Wall is the biggest.
Like, you know, like the East is the East.
East is
No,
the East.
that's part of the Ninth Wall. That's one of our subdivisions.
Technically.
Yeah.
To a certain point. Dowment, all right. Once you
No,
start
all
getting
that.
to about Crowder,
All
it's
that.
a wrap.
The whole cross the canal,
No,
the Big
bruh.
Nine, whatever. We got 3 areas. Y'all just mad because if it go down, you know.
Listen, I'm right. If I got to ride with a 9, I'm ride with a 9 for sure. You hear me? Listen, I'm in.
So you was in the East when, and me and Rick talked about this, where the East was the place to be. If you moved in the East, people thought your life is different. It's a whole quality of life on change. So you remember those times, what it was like growing up in that large demographic of African American success, middle class, home ownership. Everybody got cars. What it was like growing up in that?
Yeah, so I mean, you know, even on my block, when I was young, we had about two to three white families still on my block as a kid.
They
So
got the notice late.
I mean, they was holding out. You know what I'm saying? As long as they could. You hear me? And then they got out of there, right? But you know, I remember this particular white guy that he used to play golf all the time, right? You know, with the little in his yard playing golf. You know, and we used to go over there, try to play golf. You know, do things like that. So just remembering. I mean, it was a good neighborhood for the most part, right? We had our issues, we had our problems, but for the most part, it was a good area. And a good neighborhood, a good upbringing for sure.
Something happened that took the East down to when they started tearing down all the major projects, and it became a Section 8 hub. And you seen that. Were you there when you started seeing the decline of the quality, the grass not being cut, the fence, things started getting just not in shape like it was?
I think that's after Katrina, right? I mean, after
A little before Katrina.
A little before Katrina?
Yeah.
I remember for sure after Katrina, right? Not really before. I was in high school, so I graduated high school 05, right? So I was the year of Katrina. I had graduated and went to college. But so after Katrina, I could see that. Before, I didn't really pay attention or even think back about it, to be honest with you. But you know, man, the East is, how can I say this? Like, the East gets a bad rep for no reason, right? Especially now, right? They crime is not the highest in the East, right? They have these different sections that they have different problems, but the East ain't really that bad, bro, to be honest with you.
When I see it, some of the apartments when I first moved in the East, from the one on that can't stay out the news, they just sold it.
They just sold it.
They just sold it. And a black brother from Los Angeles, shouts out. We'll
out.
have you on the show soon.
Yeah.
So them apartments used to be nice.
The Willows.
What's the ones on the right side that used to be by Green Trees? They was Green Tree at one time.
Across the street from the Willows, like on the service road?
Yeah, on the service road.
Start with a C.
They just whatever they are, they just in worse shape or whatever. When I first moved to the East, all those apartments was, at least, they wasn't considered regular hood rat apartments. They was something that if you was a young person, your first home, your first apartment or whatever, now you don't want to stay in there.
Yeah.
And you can see it from the interstate, the blinds and all the windows get messed up like that, and it wasn't like that. So I would like to see the return. Even as the mall, you see what the new mayor doing. She's trying to do with Six Flags or whatever that's coming about, and then she said she's gonna do something with the mall. So I would like to see it return to its greatness, what it was, and it was a proud. I was happy to see all those black people owning homes and go by their house, swimming pools in the backyard. We couldn't swim, but we had them.
Yeah, you sure right. You sure right.
Y'all can't swim?
Yeah.
I can swim.
Oh, all right. I can swim too.
Shit,
so what you saying? Son, y'all need you get with it, bro.
But I know.
Can you swim now?
But I was in Katrina.
Get this man afloat.
I was in Katrina every day, and I made a difference. I was in that water every day.
Say, brother, need you to learn how to swim, dog.
All right, and this is crazy part about it. My father was a lifeguard. He was a lifeguard for Sampson Park for many years or whatever. I don't know why I skipped it.
Why you don't know?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to my dad. Pops, one of our number one
that's
fans.
A you thing. Okay, I think that's a you thing, bro.
It's a you thing. You were scared?
I don't know why. I just went. But I'm a survivor, though. I was in Katrina every day, man, floating around, going into things. I'm so glad Empower You NOLA wasn't in no vibe.
Nah, I wasn't around that time, son. Hey, listen, I wasn't tripping about that. Still a cause, you hear me? It's that time.
So that young man, he took a bus.
I love it.
When you would have reported that story, how would it have been? All right,
I would have reported it, bro. I would have.
So it wouldn't have been even in a good way.
Oh yeah, in a good way. For
In a
sure.
good way,
Yeah,
because that man, that young, when he was 20,
he stole a bus and put everybody on a bus and brought
yeah, to Houston. Yeah, he pulled up in front of the Astrodome.
Listen,
Did he go to jail though? Huh?
He didn't went to jail for that. He went to jail for something else after
okay.
that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm about to say.
But they should have took him. That's like a hero. He
That is
should
a
forever
hero.
be a hero.
He forever a hero in my
Yeah.
book. I would have never posted him.
Yeah.
And in a good way for sure.
Yeah.
Like listen, it's not all for my page. It's not all about negative or embarrassing people or posting people for the most part, bro. It's not. It's really informing the public of what's really going on in our community, right? Because we really don't know everything that's going on in our community. So it's really about just getting the information out and being truthful, being factual, right? I would never want to post somebody that shouldn't be posted.
Yeah.
You know, incorrectly, like, right? So that's why I take a lot. Like, I got a kid right now, who went into, what's the little restaurant they went into? It's right by Walmart. Oh, Chapatulas. I'm looking at the place right now. What's the name of the thing? I'm about to tell you the name right now. But anyway, the kid went in there and stole a tip jar, right? Out of the thing. And it's like, come on, like, you know, like, I'm about to tell you the name right here of the business because I'm gonna post it once I leave here. Fantasy Tacos, right? Went in Fantasy Tacos, act like he was gonna pay for something, grabbed the tip jar, ran out. So when he ran out, they had a worker in the back who kind of ran after him and found and caught one of the two kids, brought him back in. They called 911. Now, of course, 911 took forever, right? They wound up taking a picture of the kid and just saying, all right, look, we got your picture. He didn't want to really say nothing. He didn't want to say his name. He didn't want to say nothing. So they sent it to me. All right. So what do I do with that, right? Like, do I post the kid? Because the tip jar he took is a hard worker that's in there working.
Right.
That's their tips, right? So do I post it? Do I try to find a kid's name? Do I try to reach out to his parents? How can I reach out to his parents if I don't post it?
Right.
So a lot of people don't like me posting kids, but it's like a lot of times when I post kids, I can get to the parents who have no idea what their kid was doing. Because we can't follow our kids all the time, right? So, but once I get the kid and get the parent, then I take them down off the page once I find out their parents. And then it's up to the business of what they choose to do.
Right.
A lot of businesses be like, look, mom come pay and take care of the tip jar, I'm good, right? I don't want personal charge. Right. Some people be like, well, I don't know how much was in the tip jar, so I'm pressing charges.
So that sounds like that could lead to, especially with youth, you know, and you having so many connections with different organizations and stuff.
For sure.
For getting those young people resources.
Absolutely.
Is that a route that you already take? Or you willing to endeavor?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I funnel kids to a lot of different places. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, consequences is important, right? We have to have some, and it might not, I'm not saying jail is the ultimate consequences. No. I'm saying the mama knowing about it, busting that butt, or they going to Fantasy Taco and working for free for a week. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just finding different ways to hold them accountable so they could think twice about doing it again. So I could save you on the first and second one maybe. The third one, I'm an advocate for you to go sit down.
Yeah.
Just so you can get your mind right.
Gotcha.
You know, being in jail or being in prison, rehabilitation, I tell people, comes from within.
It does.
You can't make nobody. You can have all the wonderful programs in the city, but it comes from within. You gotta want to rehabilitate yourself to do it, and some people just not ready.
We're gonna take a quick commercial break. This segment is brought to you by EraBody's Coffee.
Ooh.
Welcome back, and man, like I told y'all, man, we gonna dive deep into the mind of when we talk about our youth, and I like the way I always like. Even I seen you apologize or whatever. The reason why I can relate more to you, not outside of knowing you, than the news, is almost like they're so buttoned up and so unrelatable, and they governed by because they got to take commercial breaks. When you give a story, it's not that you're trying to embarrass him. Because that's how I am. You built on facts and information. I'm not against this person. I ain't got, I ain't trying to tear this person down. I'm only stating the facts. And I can stay here longer. The news come on at 9 o'clock and they gotta go off at 9:30. So you only can give me snippets anyway. So I think that's why even myself and other people lean towards you to give us the right story. So Tell us about that responsibility you have to give us, because they're taking your word and they're taking it to heaven.
Yes, a fact. This is a 24 hours, 7 days a week job, right? It never stops. I'm the only one that runs this page. I'm the only one that sees his DMs. I'm the only one that do everything. So I take it personal, right? To get out the right information. I take it personal to, putting the information out to the public, and it has to be factual, right? Because like you said, people take this information. If it didn't happen, I answered on Empower You NOLA, it didn't happen, right? So I take that with sincerity. Like I'm serious about that. So it's a lot of work. I get some information. I gotta vet it. I gotta make sure it's right. I gotta triple, quadruple check, and then I put the information out. But it's factual. I don't have no opinion. I try not to put my opinion on it. I try not to be like, oh, I'm posting this person because he did. No, I don't care about that, right? This person is accused of X, Y, and Z. This is what the evidence shows. There it is. I'm done. Now it's public opinion at this point. Y'all can make your own opinion on what. I'm just stating what the facts are, and I leave it at that.
So as a well-educated brother, you could have been doing a million things outside of this. Why you choose this? Why community?
Yeah. Listen, it's and I hate to be that guy, right? But this is God's mission for me, bro. Like, I pray about what can I do while I was in prison. I pray, like, what can I do to come out to better my community? What can I do to put my 2 cents on this community to make it better? And this is what the result was. Empower You NOLA came in a vision. Empower You NOLA logo. What I should be doing, how I should be doing it. And man, it's crazy enough is I questioned it. I've been doing this for 7 years. I questioned it 3 times. Every time I got a sign saying keep going. The last time, and I tell this story on other podcasts, but the last time I'm sitting in church on my knees praying, and I'm like, God, I ain't making no money. Mind you, I do this for free for the most part, right? I ain't making no money. I got kids. I got bills. I'm behind on my car note, whatever. Like, I need a physical sign to keep going. Like, if I leave this church and I don't get my physical sign, that's how I'm talking to my God. That's how I talk to you. Know what I'm saying?
That's how I talk to mine too.
I'm just saying, right? So if I don't get a physical sign, like, I'm going to find a job. I'm going to make money and just do what I need to do for my family. And a dude tapped me on my shoulder. No exaggeration. My eyes closed. Dude tapped me on my shoulder. I turn around and I look, and he says, "Keep going." He said, "I follow your page." He's an older cat too. I follow your page. Keep going what you're doing. Like, keep doing what you're doing. I respect it. He said, I used to have a boys' home in the 9th Ward, but you keep me motivated. Why I'm doing this? Man, I turned around, some tears fell, and I said, I'll never question. That was the 3rd time. I'll never question it again. So this is my why. This is what God has me doing, and I'm going to continue to do it.
And I would say that you was a police officer, and then you go to prison. How do prisoners treat you when you go from being on the side of that law, now you over here with us?
Well, thank God I was at a federal prison camp, right? That's kind of the lowest institution you can go to in the federal system. So I seen fights. They had different things going on. We almost had a race war and that thing. But thank God that the people that was there, and how I work in the feds is everybody from their state rock with each other. Right. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you from Baton Rouge, you from Shreveport, wherever. We all rock in one car, right? So the guys in my car, when they found out, they was like, listen, I'm gonna respect you for who you as a man today. I ain't really worrying about what you on. We really not on that type of time. And we gonna move forward. So in the camps, people work their way down to the camp, right? You may start in the medium, then you go down to the low, then you get to the camp. The camp is kind of like a more laid out, more relaxed environment.
Trying to go home.
You almost home.
Right.
You got to have 10 years or less to go home. You can't have, and where I was, it was white collar crimes and drug dealers for the most part, right? You can't be no violent crimes. It can't be nothing like that to get down to a camp. So the guys down to a camp that was big time drug dealers or white collar crimes, they wasn't really on that type of time. But they respected me how I came in. They respected me how I conducted myself, and they was just watching it moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have no issues. We had definitely had a conversation about it, but after that, it was over with.
Then what did you go to prison for? Because a lot of people still
don't know. They
don't know what's going on.
So I went to prison for the interstate commerce of contraband tobacco. That was my charge. That's basically, had a friend of mine who owned convenience stores in the city. He was taking cigarettes from here to North Carolina to his other store. I took a trip with him. I took 2 trips with him. We brought it to North Carolina, came back home, did the same thing twice, came back home, and then a year later, the FBI indicted us and said that was illegal.
So, did they get a tip, or
so
y'all was just moving sloppy?
So no. So my friend at the time, his business partner was a CI for the feds.
Whoa.
Right.
So when we got the discoveries, find out who the CI was
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah.
And how much time did you do?
I got sentenced to a year and a day. So I did about 6-7 months in prison, about 3 or 4 months in a halfway house, and then I came home.
Okay.
And once you touch back down in the city, how is with your reputation, your family or whatever? Did it change? I'm pretty sure it did.
When I came back from prison,
Yeah.
I mean, not really. You know, I mean, I didn't hurt nobody. You know,
Right.
I didn't steal anything from anybody. I didn't do anything like that. My victim of my crime was the United States of America.
Right.
Right. I mean, so some people thought it was petty, but it was really a taxes thing.
I was just about to say that. I was going to explain
Okay.
to the different people. In taxes and cigarettes in New Orleans run about what, $5? My brother actually paid, the other day I watched him pay $14 for a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, what do you smoke, Camels?
Campbell's or
Yeah.
something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
They were like 14.
Yeah.
I want to say $16 or whatever. Well, in New York, those same pack of cigarettes might be $28 or $30.
That's a fact.
So the taxes are different.
Taxes are different.
So and that's the
That's
crime.
why I got it.
Yeah.
Yep, that was the crime.
And people still do that. They buy cigarettes from low tax states and get it to high tax states so they can maximize the money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I got in trouble for helping transport, not necessarily it being mine.
Right.
So both of y'all
So yeah.
went to prison.
Yeah. So
Did he get more time?
He got more time. Yeah. He had some other stuff going on. So
Okay.
That he got in trouble for. But
and I would say this back to when we talk about the city with community policing. I came in on Rick probably caught the tail end of it, but in the Desire housing development, which I call the Desire State Community, such a great community.
We go Desire State Community.
Yes, it's such a great community.
Go ahead, out of his mind.
Oh yes, we were the golden standard of projects or whatever. But I will say Olympic size swimming pool, state of the art gym or whatever. I grew up in a community like that.
Yeah.
But in that, Rick, what I noticed is we know all the police officers.
Yeah.
Just off the hand. You so used to seeing them Holloway was got killed.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Holloway, the FBI agent, I never forget, I watched the news and he said he never seen his turnout for a police officer when Holloway got killed.
community.
Or whatever, the community, because he was part of the community. I mean, all the officers we know, we used to have police officers know who the drug dealers was and said, look, I ain't catch y'all yet, but I don't want them hanging around y'all. If I catch them over here, and that's how it was. So why did they get away from community policing?
Man, I just think over time, especially now, let's talk about today. They're so short, right? They're so short-handed. They running from call to call to call to call. They don't really have time to just
right
chill on a block with community. Like I said earlier, go play basketball and things like that. They have to make time. But if they're making time for that, then that 911 call is getting later and later and later, right?
Yeah.
So they running from call to call. Ever since they get to work to the time they leave, they running from call to call to call. So that stops the community policing a little bit from going on. The more they hire, the more they could be out in the community. But they have certain officers that's supposed to be like
Officer Nippy. I want to send her a
Nippy,
shout
like
out.
Nippy.
She's a great in the schools.
schools.
They love
exactly. So they have certain officers in each district that's designated to schools. Right. So that's kind of where you can kind of get to know them. But if you're not in school, you're just a regular person in the community, you don't really get to see that.
Yeah.
And mind you, when I was a police officer, like we did that. Like we was able to go play basketball, go play football, go like mid shift, right? We just like, man, look, it's a little slow. Let's go to the park. Right. Shout out to Sergeant Walton now, right? He in the 9th Ward. But we used to literally go play basketball, be sweaty, getting back in the car, going to the next call. And that helped out because they knew us. They knew, everything about us. We knew everything about them. We knew that, she got 2 daughters and one of the daughters always cutting up, right? We
Right.
know how to deal with that individual because we always at that house, right? We knew the kid always run away, right? Where the kid run to or whatever. We knew that
Right.
because we talked to the family. We sat down and had these conversations. It's just hard now because we so short-handed in this city. I think we had, 900, 800 police officers now? And back then when you talking about, they had 1,500.
And I would say this, Rick. I'll tell y'all this short story about Officer Holloway. This how close to the community was. They gave out a lawsuit money in the night war for Earl spill. And my partner mama got a Perry. His mama named Cheyenne. She brought him she brought an Explorer. And she let Perry drive, but Perry didn't have a driver. Like, we were like 17. Holloway seen me and Perry. Told him go get she pulled us over, said go get the registration, insurance, or whatever. He come back with the registration. He said, I say on driver license, registration, and insurance. He told him, bring me them damn keys. Go put the stuff back in there, and made me and him walk. And when brought the keys to his mama, drove her back to the car and said, if I catch him, I'm going to take your vehicle or whatever. But that's what community police officer. We just young. He know we wasn't doing nothing wrong, but we shouldn't have been driving. It's not worth me to take him to jail, but I gave you a warning. So when I do take him the next time, you could respect the fact that I gave you a warning.
Yeah.
And we went to go get our driver license the following week. That's what community police officer look like. But if it was any other officer, they would have took him to jail for no driver license, even though we wasn't speeding or nothing. He just so happened to see us.
Yeah.
And he knew
And he
y'all.
know
Yeah,
us,
took the car.
and he took the car, and then now you become an enemy to the neighborhood and not a friend. And I think that was the difference between community police officer and, like you say, why you think the numbers is decreasing in New Orleans and not increasing as far as people want to be a police officer?
So I'll touch on 2 things. One, it's a little bit different now too with these body cameras, right? With these body cameras, they are bound by law because we could go reevaluate that camera that Holloway would have had on, right? We'd have saw that he pulled y'all over, and technically he's supposed to do something, right? But he didn't have a camera, so he could do what he want. You know what I'm saying? It was more discretion at that time. Now it's a little bit different, like as far as discretion. Like,
So I got to follow the law.
I'm gonna have to follow because when they look at my body camera, they're gonna say, "Oh, you neglected duty. Like you let you this person drunk, and you let him go." I had this guy that was drunk, man. He was 2 blocks away from his house, 2 blocks, and I said, "You know what?" I looked up. I could see he drunk. Looked up his information. I'm like, "Dawg, you 2 blocks away from your house. I'm gonna take you home, right?" Put him back in my police car, locked up the car, where everything like that. He 2 blocks. So I get him to his house, knocked on the door, his wife there, gave the key to his wife, went back to the car. It's a funny story. He went back to the car. He had used the bathroom in my police car, right? So I said, "Ma'am, look, he used the bathroom in my car." I'm like, "Listen." She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get cleaning stuff." I said, "No problem." She came out to try to clean it for her husband. I said, "Wifey, no." His drunk self gonna clean up all this mess that he did. If he's not, I'm gonna take him to jail. He was in there scrubbing
Yeah,
down.
I bet he was.
Scrubbing
I
down,
bet he
right?
was.
But he went home. He was fine. He didn't get no DWI and stuff like that. So back then you could do stuff like that. It's a little bit harder now.
Yeah.
Right. And I would say that's community police. We just did a story about Gretna over policing. They got a story about Gretna. I sent it to Rick where it's in a policy to hit you. If they pull you over for a traffic stop, Rick, get many tickets as possible.
Yeah.
No discretion.
That's all.
And what do you think about their method in policing?
It's strict and tough, and everybody know that, right? Everybody, even as a police officer, you'd be like, "Oh, I don't want to go to Gretna," right?
What? As a police
As a
officer?
police officer, that's how bad
That's
it was.
crazy.
So they don't respect the
They don't
blue,
respect
the
the
blue
law.
sticker.
I ain't worrying about no blue sticker, right? Them and Causeway will take you to jail. Police
Right.
officer, nah, they don't care. But man, Gretna, but we know that about Gretna, right? We know we going through Gretna. We better tighten
Yeah,
up.
put
You
your
know what I'm saying?
seatbelt on, put 2 hands on the steering wheel.
Everything.
Yeah.
10-2.
But that's in New Orleans is not like that. We ride in New Orleans all willy-nilly. Right? We know we suspended. We don't care. We still rolling. You know?
But and I would say this as a cop in New Orleans, seeing the drunk guys by the convenience store. If you from Cincinnati and you come work down here in New Orleans, that's not a arrestable offense in New Orleans. But technically, they breaking the law.
Technically breaking the law. And if they hit somebody and kill somebody, being intoxicated.
No, I'm talking about
Yeah.
the guys that just
yeah,
sit by the
by the
gas station
Oh, okay,
just
yeah,
drinking.
yeah, okay. I thought you
So
were drinking and driving.
yeah,
Okay.
no, they just
drinking.
sitting out.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But technically, in other places, go ahead and get them from by the store or whatever.
Right.
It's so common.
It's kind of-
I don't like to go to the gas station. I don't see the guys hanging out or whatever. It's kind of crazy to me. I tell my daughter if she ever need help, she got your flat or anything, don't go pull over by the good gas station that don't want the guys hanging out because you ain't gonna have no assistance. Go by that one. You got $2.
Right.
They gonna change your tire or do whatever else and
change
help
the
you
oil.
out. Or whatever. They gonna help you out and you gonna get
Yeah.
on with your day or whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's about the community.
And what you think about the drinking laws? As far as you could have a drink like a daiquiri in your hand in New Orleans, that's
Yeah, I mean,
different from other places.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, that's what makes us unique. That's what makes us different. You know what I'm saying? That's why people come here and lose their mind, right? People come here and never leave.
Right.
Because they like, hold up, y'all could walk in the street.
Right.
Even when we go out of town. Have y'all been out of town?
And jaywalk.
Yeah.
Jaywalk or trying to leave a club or a restaurant
And
with
they're
your drink?
about to tackle
Oh
you.
no, not
yeah.
leave a club.
No, you
not
can't
with-
do it.
No, I'm saying, have y'all tried it?
Yeah.
Had to catch yourself?
Only jaywalking.
Jaywalk, okay.
Even for the
Only
restaurant,
jaywalk.
they'll be
I'd be like, man, give me
hey.
a to-go cup. They'd be like, oh no, we on. I'm like, oh, dang, I ain't home.
Right.
Right?
Right,
Like,
right.
I ain't, I'm used to doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I think the city of New Orleans is just a unique, special place. We have our problems. We got our issues like everybody else does,
Yeah.
right? But it's no place like New Orleans.
I agree.
And what about this second line?
The
I
Super
took
Sunday?
my yeah.
Oh,
But
my
I took
God.
my friends from Homer to a 9-time second line.
Oh, Lord.
And it was like the police actually assist y'all with shutting down the street. They were like, man, and they just other cities just can't get it, and they don't understand it. That's why you think that's why we don't have none of the police problems as other cities with race wise or whatever. So we so connected to the police officers. So I don't really think people in New Orleans hate other people hate their police officers. I don't think it's like that. Even Wayne talk about how the police officer came and saved his life or whatever, and he still called him Uncle. I forgot the game name.
I think the guy just recently died too.
Yeah.
The police officer.
And I know we might not get along all the time with the police officer, but I don't think the hate like other people. They can't stand a police officer, and I think it's not having a relationship.
Yeah, I think our police, well, we starting to get more people that's not from here to be police, right?
Right.
Because we shorthanded. But for the most part, usually it's the people that's from here that's policing us, right? So everybody can relate.
Yeah.
We know how to talk. We know how to do, relate to the community. They have a class that they do actually in the academy now that's like a culture class.
And I think that's needed.
It's needed.
Very much needed.
Because how often did you get cursed out? Not to cut you off.
A lot.
In New Orleans, you don't get to take offense there.
No,
In other parishes, you going to jail.
For sure.
You
Cursed out.
get mad and be like, man, come on, man, you gonna do that dumb shit on me? All right, come on, this racking off. You be like, man, that's weak shit. In New Orleans, you be like, come on, officer, man, come on, man, that shit weak. And he be like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm instead of giving you a break time, I'm gonna give you a seatbelt. I gotta give you something. All right, cool, go ahead.
Yeah.
And it's like when you were dealing with other officers, it's just like all seriousness. You better be in the right manner, tone, everything. They're right
different.
and they're writing it up. You be like, man, you this weak shit. Or
But
whatever.
how we talk, how we use our hands, you know what I'm saying? We be
Yeah.
like,
Right.
we saying neutral ground. You saying neutral ground, someone they be like, what you mean? Get off the neutral ground.
Medium.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we have our own lingo, we have our own way of doing things, and if you're not from here, you won't understand it. So having police officers from here to become police officers, anybody want to be a police officer? Clearly, they make a lot of money. Y'all seen that on the news. Yeah,
Man, that's a lot.
they make a lot
Me
of
and
money.
my
you know what I'm saying?
fiance just so happened to talk. When you go $100,000 over what you normally make, that's a lot.
So my last year, I made $100,000. My last year as a police officer, I made $100,000. I mean, I was working a lot of overtime and stuff like that. But listen, it could be done legally.
Right.
So how long was you a part of the force?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
your transition from police into Empower You NOLA was
And then I started in
Okay.
Yeah.
And even with the next level, what y'all think? Even with us knowing all the judges, I know people that from Jefferson Parish, they don't even know all their judges. In New Orleans, it's just like, I guess as we got older,
That's when you start to realize stuff when your eyes are open to it.
yeah.
you know?
But I think that's how our city is. I'm seeing Judge Omar Mason in a mall. Then I'm at a second line seeing it's just like all our judges like that. You just see them and you know them. They don't seem like so powerful where you can't touch them.
Nah, I mean that's a big small city that we have.
Yeah.
Like, I mean you'll see judges, you'll see city council, you'll see everybody kind of everywhere. I mean,
So nobody, I don't think nobody have the big shoulders where you be like, you see them so much or whatever.
Even celebrities, like we
Yeah.
don't care about that really. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We'll get somebody coming in town. We don't really be mindful of the celebrity. We be like, oh, that's whoever. Like that's Kevin Gates. All right, like, you know that's
we're not super fans for nobody.
We not for nobody. So that's just how we are as a city.
So a lot of people don't know too that you are an author.
Yeah, man.
You're an author. Give us a little bit insight about that book and what was the purpose behind the book.
Man, shout out to you, Yerm. You was one of my first people that bought my book.
Yes, sir.
Got my book,
Yeah,
so I
got
appreciate
your
it.
book.
But it's called A Police Officer's Playbook: A Citizen's Guide to Survive. Right? It's basically a book that explains to anybody, preferably kids, but what the law says. Right? So we have in a way that they can understand it. So we talking about traffic stop. Like, how did y'all learn how to get pulled over by the police? How did y'all learn that?
We got pulled over.
Yeah. What a worse way to learn.
Hey, all right.
I ain't have no lesson.
No
I just
lesson.
put the hands.
Okay.
But I kind of like the bad officers better than the good officer. Because
Okay.
the bad officer, I got pulled over in Orleans. He said, I'm not a traffic cop. I look for guns and drugs. This is on Tuesday and Thursdays or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm about to search
Got
this mother
PTSD.
MF. And if I find guns and drugs, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
I ain't care but give a damn about the traffic. So I know I was just a traffic man.
So did you allow him to search it?
Technically, I know I shouldn't, but he was so aggressive. He came on, and I know
Right.
I probably ain't had nothing but traffic anyway.
Right.
I know I ain't had nothing, whatever. So I said, go ahead. But
So-
I shouldn't have.
I mean, either way, right? But you had the right to say no.
Yeah.
You had the right to say. So that's what kind of was in the book, right? How to get pulled over. What does that mean? What does a search look like? When can they search? Right? When can you do you have to agree to a search? Miranda rights. When to shut up. Right? If I pull you over and I say pull you over, I'd be like, you had anything to drink today? What y'all gonna say?
No.
No.
What you gonna say?
I evoke my.
You not saying that.
Right.
Huh?
What you
But
gonna
I
say?
don't drink, so.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna say no.
You gonna say no? All right. So usually a lot of people like to say I had one, right? I had one. That's the going thing, right? I had one drink, officer. I'm good. I'm sober. But you just admitted that you've been drinking. Right. So now you told a police officer that you had one drink and now you're driving.
Yeah.
So now I gotta go to the next level. Now I gotta pull you out. I gotta do a sobriety test on you. I got because you just admitted it.
Yeah.
When in a traffic stop, all you need is your license, registration, insurance. That's it. Where you going? Where you coming from? You don't have to answer none of those questions legally, right? You could just say, hey, look, this is my license, my registration, my insurance, and that's it. Hey, if the police officer be like, where you coming from? Like, I really don't want to answer those questions.
Yeah.
No, not disrespectful, not doing anything, just being like, no, I don't want to answer. I choose not to answer that. Like, and then have him do his job, right? He gonna go back, run the name, make sure your insurance, make sure your registration fine, come back to the car. Hey, so where you headed right now?
You don't have to answer.
I choose not to answer that. Like, that ain't your business.
So why they ask? I mean, why would they ask you that?
Because some people tell you.
Okay.
Even when Jay-Z said in one of his songs, my glove department locked, so is my trunk in the back. I know my rights, so you're gonna need a warrant for that.
That's a fact.
Jig, shout out for that ball. You educated a whole generation on that.
So I still don't understand.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
though,
sure.
right. So for them to search your car in that moment, right? You get pulled over for traffic violation, just like you did. They say, man, look, if you don't got nothing in the car, let me search it. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
And you be like, okay, officer, search it.
Right.
You don't have to.
Right.
Or
Right?
you would get beat
Look,
up.
I don't have nothing, and I still don't want you to search.
Right.
But then they have to go get a warrant. They have to go get a dog to come hit on your car or something like that. They have to have all these different things.
They would have to, or you'll get your ass beat up too.
But now they got body cameras.
Well, they had body cameras when what's the little dude name? He ain't from here, but it was like big news. They broke his window, and he had the dreadlocks.
And then he was reaching for the glove compartment?
No. They bust his window out and then started punching on him through the window because he said,
I know what you're talking about.
I forgot the whole scenario, what happened.
Okay.
But it seemed like he was doing the right thing, and that could just be me from being a spectator.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to answer them and abide by what they wanted, so they beat his ass.
Yeah, I have to see what the.
I'll send it to you, but there could be something off the camera. But a lot of people just scared of the police.
Oh, for sure. But just be mindful. Now they have cameras everywhere, right? And they have cameras not on just on body camera, but they have cameras on buildings and everything else, right? So, I mean, look, they'd be stupid. And we don't really have those issues in the city like we talked about.
Right.
We really don't have those issues.
Yeah.
But if they do something like that, it's all on camera. And if the camera's not on, then we got a bigger problem.
Okay.
Why your camera not on when this interaction happens? So
I'm gonna ask you a question. When you get pulled over, I always pulled over. If I get pulled over, I'm gonna get pulled over in a crowded parking lot in the front where they got cameras at for the business or whatever.
That's illegal.
What?
You gonna keep going if they put their lights on?
It depends on where we at. I just want to pull over in a safe spot. What's safe to you is not safe to me.
Yeah. So honestly, I mean, you could explain that, right?
Yeah.
You even if you turn your headlights on, you slow all the way down,
right,
to a speed where it don't look like you're running, and you just take your time to get to where you want to get to, right?
Safe spot.
I mean, in my mind, I could be like, as a police officer, I'm gonna give you the police officer's mindset though, right? Or he hiding drugs, he getting ready to get a gun out, right? He's running, like I don't know what he's doing, right? Things like that. As a police officer, I'm gonna be on high alert,
right?
Because I don't know, you trying to get to safety and get to some light,
right?
I'm thinking, oh, he calling his people to roll up behind me and blow my head off, right? So just be mindful of that as well. I'm not saying don't do it, especially if it's a dark area. Like you could justify, hey, look, to the judge, hey, look, I was in a dark area, I didn't feel safe. Or even if you don't think it's 911, or some people got them little dash cams, and you call 911 yourself. Hey, look, I'm getting pulled over. Is this a real police officer? And they, because the police officer is getting on the radio saying, hey, look, I'm pulling over a car at 2 Lane and Broad.
Right.
So now it's on the air. So when I call 911, hey, look, is there a police officer? They're gonna say, hold up, stand by. Yes, that's a police officer. You can pull over.
Yeah.
So things like that is
okay. So you can
so
verify.
people could verify if that's real or not.
And and this crazy part about it, in my life, I guess because I always wore casual clothes, I never get to aggressive situations. So when a lot of times when I watch television, I'm standing up because I know it's wrong, but oftentimes it never happened to me. These situations, I guess I'm not gonna be aggressive towards the person. I was always taught that the case is not won at the traffic stop, it's won in court. So I'm not about to argue with you. The police officer is a person, he got feelings too. So I'm not about to try to handle you aggressive, knowing you got really the upper hand on me. I ain't got no gun, no nothing. You got 5 weapons, I ain't got none.
No, you're totally right.
Yeah.
So take us back to the book, man.
Yeah,
and finish telling us the purpose of
man. So my whole goal is definitely to save a life, right? If I could teach somebody their rights so they don't have a bad encounter, so they don't be aggressive with the police, so they can know their rights when they're going through instances with the police. Because if you knowledge is power. So if you understand what's going on, you won't be afraid. If you know the law, you won't be scared, right? So when you have that encounter with police officers, you can be like, I know my rights. Listen, I know you can't pull me out the car. I know you can't pull me out the car. I know you can't ask me that question. It doesn't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? You are super confident with yourself to have that interaction with the police, and that could stop a bad interaction from happening or somebody getting hurt.
And give us the name of the book again.
Man, a police officer's playbook, a citizen's guide to survive. You can get that at empoweryounola.com.
And this segment is brought to you by EraBody's Coffee. Welcome back, man. Yeah, man, the knowledge has been dropping, man. But brother, we got one more segment called "Do You Remember?" We'll take you on a journey. Hope you remember Freddie's radio shows, TV shows, and just see. Do you remember? All right?
I don't. I can tell you that now. Look, I got a bad memory. But go ahead. Let's go.
All right. Do you remember from the movie Boys in the Hood? Why did Dope Boy go to jail?
Bro, I'm gonna fail all this. I'm gonna tell you. First of all, I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna fail first. I really don't watch TV. I know Boys in the Hood, but I listen. I'm terrible. I'm telling you now. I'm gonna fail all of this. Bro. Go ahead. We're gonna cut this segment out. I'm telling you. I'm gonna pay for it.
No. We're not up for sale.
So shit. All right.
So why did Dope Boy go to jail?
Oh my God, I don't know why, bro. Why, bro?
Rick, why Dope Boy went to jail?
Doughboy went to jail.
I'm terrible. At least I ain't by myself. I know.
Doughboy went to jail for conspiracy.
Man, that crime wasn't that they stole out the store, man.
See, I ain't gonna know
In the
something.
beginning of the movie, with him and his friends, they went to the store and they stole out of the store, and the police came and arrested both of them.
I'm thinking about towards the end. Oh no, he died at the end.
He died at the
you're
end.
right. Your memory better than mine, brother.
Man, listen, this about to be bad. Come on, let's roll.
I don't-
Bring the next question, dog. I
It
want
gets
that.
better. It gets better.
This next one.
Go ahead.
All right. On the TV show Fresh
Oh,
Prince,
Lord. Go ahead.
Carlton
Mm-hmm.
used to sing a particular song. Do you know the name of the song, or who the artist was?
We used to be dancing,
Yeah.
doing. Who's the name of the?
It's not unusual
I know.
to be loved by
I got to
anyone.
name the. Oh my God. Who the artist is?
Who the artist that sung that song?
The crazy part is I probably never heard that song until he did it, right? So, oh, I don't know, bro. I don't know. This about to be
we
bad.
about to take the. Do you see how horrible this is? Tom Jones. Tom Jones.
Man, nobody know that.
He the only person who he
Oh,
told me
but
that
hold
before
on.
the show. I still
I-
couldn't remember the
But
man
I'm asking you a
name.
question. With Fresh Prince, tell us an episode that you like, that you remember.
Man, you know, one that when you said that what popped out of my head was when his dad, man, when he was, that
It
was
made me
just
cry. I cried.
man, it was so emotional, bro.
Yeah.
Like it was like
Will did that. They did that.
like bro, like that's one. And then when Ashley was like when her and Will was going back and forth upstairs about like back up, mind your business, just mind. Boy, that was funny. Huh? That was a funny episode for me.
He was
son.
telling her on how not to get bullied.
Yeah.
That father episode. And
That
I have
father episode, bro.
I have a friend of mine, my best friend, Darnell Harris, and he used to tell me that in the Florida Project, when all his friends used to go by their fathers, he used to go inside and cry. So to fathers that's not there, that's how impactful. You might not know. He just wanted to go with his dad, and he asked Uncle Phil, "Why he don't want me, man?" And man, I'm sitting as a kid, I cried.
Bro.
I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah,
I cried.
bro.
I cried.
That episode was tough.
Yeah.
That's the first episode popping in my head though.
And then even just to go back on the 1st one with Boys in the Hood, out of all of them, Furious Styles, he was the father. He had a father. The rest of them didn't have a father. So, and it plays a part into as men how we look at it now. That helped them stay out of a lot of shit that they was able to get into. He wasn't able to do or whatever. And he got out.
a good one, huh?
Yeah, Kobe Guinness Jr. And at the end, he got out. He got out the car.
Right.
And he went on to college. Him and your girl went on to college, and it became, and the ones that didn't have a father. So that's the impact of having a father.
And you know, a father, a coach, a mentor, you know, something along those lines, somewhere where like a man, because I tell everybody to get in sports, right? I want you to get some kind of sport. It could be basketball, football, it could be track, it could be baseball. Just get into something because they will have a father figure there that could give you that guidance when, you know, a single mother probably couldn't as a young boy growing up. You know
But
what
as
I'm saying?
accountability, when you have kids, it's a difference. They have a video on social media where they show how important it is for a father to be in the house, and they have the baby crying, father comes, snap his finger, get in the bed, and the kid get in the bed or whatever. It's that presence or whatever. And when that presence is around, those kids know that a lot of stuff I get over on with moms with, that shit not gonna pass on dad.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah,
Nigga,
so-
listen, I live by that with my kids.
Right.
Like they don't play with daddy. Like they'll play with mama though. They'll test mama a few times, and then they be like, "I'm gonna call your dad," and they straighten up. You know, that's which is good.
And Chris Rock tell the great joke of, he said, you know the most powerful thing you say in the black community? I'm gonna tell your dad.
I'm gonna tell your dad.
And when he said that, a lot of people don't laugh, but it's not one of his funniest joke, but it's so real. I didn't see fathers come to school and his presence shut up every bad behavior kid in that classroom. You're like, oh shit, Mr. Jones here. That's Mike Daddy. And he give all the boys in there looking, everybody straighten up. I sit here, Miss Such and Such, and he sit in that class for the rest of the day, and you'll think you in St. Aug somewhere in a public school. That's the presence of a man. So shouts out to all the fathers that's active.
Absolutely.
Your presence is very much needed, and we talked about it in our first segment on LeBron James in the situation that he did with a kid and their father. But this last question, you have a $20, old school New Orleans. You had to go to the grocery store and get something to eat for you, your sisters and your brothers, what you getting? Old school New Orleans, old school.
Man, that's a good question. What would I get? Old school. Let me see. Let me think. So we going to the corner store then. We ain't
Right?
we
Yeah,
going,
we're
we
gonna.
going to the corner store.
No
All right.
doubt.
What am I getting? It's gonna be some. I'm a kid getting it too.
Yeah, you're a kid.
Oh, I'm getting it's BS, right? We getting honey buns. I don't know. Let me see. So I grew up right by well, not right by, but close to like the Bunny Bread factory, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So and I don't know if people know they got a store inside
Right,
the
yeah.
Bunny Bread factory,
I've been there,
right?
yeah.
Oh, you been in that?
Yeah.
So we used to go there and get all of like the snacks, the drinks and stuff like that. So it's definitely gonna be snacked out. We ain't getting no real food. I don't even think we getting noodles at this point. You heard me? We getting all cupcakes and honey buns. Got to get a cold drink, and then shoot, we going it's gonna be BS. I can tell you that.
Oh, Rick, what you getting?
What you get?
Well, like I said, bro, you know, I had 6 brothers. You know what I'm saying? And definitely getting $1 worth of bologna, lunch and meat.
Oh, you a grown little man.
Yeah.
All right.
So, look, we had to make it stretch. Peanut butter and jelly, of
Peanut
course.
butter and jelly for sure.
And probably some candy. Some candy for
definitely
sure.
some
Candy.
candy.
Gets you through the whole day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question. How much that not the regular pull boy, but that supersized one costs now? You know what I'm talking about?
Talking about the 32 inch, 16.
It ain't
Well,
that
it's
much.
the no. I'm talking about the long one. It's the whole
Yeah, that's 32 then.
yeah the 32,
Probably the 32.
yeah.
32 inch.
So you get that thing on that cold cut. We used to get that on that cold cut. You
Yeah, I
can
know
break
what you're
that
talking
up. You can break that up. My brother like it dressed. I get one side dressed, the other side not dressed. Big bag of Lay's, that gallon of punch.
That's probably 20. It ain't that much. I mean,
The old school New Orleans, you
Oh, for
probably
sure
can
you
get that.
can get that for 20.
Now nowadays,
nah, it shouldn't be too much more.
Lunch
though.
and meat? You talking about with lunch and meat on
Yeah.
there?
no, we was getting a cold cut one. The cold cut one come with like you can get ham or luncheon meat, however you want.
Yeah.
it. But it's the cold cut because it's cheaper.
Yeah, because
than
it's
if you
cold.
get shrimp. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
it's cheap.
yeah.
No.
I think it's running about $12.99.
Yeah,
Right
it
now?
ain't that expensive, bro. For
Yeah.
32, probably not. It might be.
A
It
shrimp-
might be 18.
Man, a shrimp on
That
a
shrimp,
shrimp
though.
pull boy right now
About
is
$30,
what?
$40.
Yeah,
Yeah.
prices
Shrimp is high, though.
yeah,
Yeah,
y'all
yeah.
kids got it so bad growing up in this generation. Y'all dollar don't go too far.
Gas.
You
too
know how
right
much a
now.
frozen cup costs? $1.
Yeah.
That's what it costs right now.
Yeah,
I ain't get a frozen cup in a minute.
Man, $1. It was a
$1.
quarter,
For sure.
solid quarter. Man, times have changed, man.
You definitely finding the change in your mama room. You heard me? You
Yeah.
get that.
Go get you right.
Go get you right.
Nah, no
they
more.
got some loose change somewhere in the car
Yeah.
somewhere. You heard me?
So, man, we want to thank you guys. Before we leave, man, let everybody know where they can find you at, how they can get in contact with you, and how they can get the book.
Yeah, man. So Empower You NOLA on everything, right? Instagram, Facebook. Empower You NOLA at Gmail. That's my Gmail. EmpowerYouNOLA.com. That's where you can get the book and get merch. You can get all stuff like that. But yeah, man, just follow me there. You know, if you need anything, whatever that may be, send me a DM. I answer all DMs. If I can help you, I can. If I can, I'll forward you to somebody that can. But I'm gonna do my best to help anybody that comes in my DMs needing assistance.
And once again, I'm the Honorable Darren D. Purnell, the street speaker himself. And don't forget to get our book on Amazon, Businessman. Yo, Rick.
Well, you heard the man. Businessman is on Amazon right now. And as for this episode, we hope that it was just as informative to you as it was to us. And for us, you can find us on EraBody's podcast. That's EraBody's podcast on all social media platforms. And we out.
Peace.